Problem 3. 4 amateur miniature golfers attempt to finish 100 holes under par several times. Each round of 100, the number of holes they successfully complete under par is recorded. Due to the presence of extreme values, box plots were determined to be the best representation for the data. List the 4 box plots in order of variability from least to greatest. So for this question, what we're actually going to focus on is we're going to focus on the IQR, because this is where most of our data falls out. Now, the min and the max spreads out the data a little bit more, but it doesn't really give us where the data is in this space, nearly as much as the IQR does. So the least amount of variability means the least spread out. So the one that is the least spread out is this one. That would be number 1. The one that is the least spread out after that would be this one. So I would put that as number 2. The least spread out one after that is this one. And then the one that has the most spread out IQR is this one. And I just find this by literally looking at the distance from Q1 to Q3. The distance here looks like it's 3. From 55 to 61, that's 6. From 55 to 64, that would be 9. And this IQR from 43 to 55, which is 12, is the biggest IQR. So that's how I calculated the variability of each of these questions. Let's move on to the next one. Problem number 4. Select all the distribution shapes for which the median could be less than the mean. So, in a symmetric distribution, there is a possibility that the median is less than the mean. In a bell-shaped distribution, the median also. Actually, if it's perfectly symmetric, which we're going to assume in this case, we're going to say the median is going to be the same as the mean. In a bell-shaped distribution, a bell is also symmetric, so the median is also going to be similar or the same to the mean. Now, for skewed to the left, we are going to go ahead and say, okay, the mean is going to be pulled to the left, and the median is going to be more to the center. So in this case, the mean is going to be less than the median, so that would not be correct. But in this case, we have skewed to the right. We have the mean is going to get pulled to the right, and the median is going to get dragged down to over here. When we have a bimodal distribution, we're going to have 2 humps. In this case, the mean could be in the center, and the median would also most likely be in the center, depending on the distribution of the data. So in this case, the shape for which the median could be much less than the mean, the only one that I've determined to be correct is D, which is the skewed right. Let's keep going on to the next question. What is the 5-number summary of this data? Okay, we've done this so many times by this point, but let's go ahead and do it again. For the 5-number summary, we are going to look for 5 different numbers, and I always like to draw a little table because that helps me visualize it better. I have the min, I have the max, I have the median in the middle, and here is going to be my Q1 and my Q3. So let's go ahead and start by finding the median. We're going to cross out our data points to identify the middle number. 4 crossed out on that side, 4 crossed out on this side. The middle 2 numbers are both 5s, so we're going to say 5 plus 5 divided by 2 is 10 divided by 2, so our median is going to be 5. Our min is the lowest number, which is 0, and our max is the highest number, which is 11. Now, because our value is the 5 that's in there, we're going to use these 2 5s over here. It's because it's the average of those 2 5s to calculate our Q1 and our Q3. So we're going to take the median of those 5 values to identify our Q1. We cross out, cross out, cross out. We're left with a 2. And do the same thing with the top 5 values to find the middle number, and we have a 5. When the minimum is 0 is removed from the data set, what is the 5-number summary? So take a second and pause here if you need to go over how I did the 5-number summary for the top question. If you are good to go, we're going to go ahead and find the 5-number summary for this one right here. So we have the min, we have the max, we have the median, which falls on top of our words, for our Q1 and Q3. Our min in this case will be 2, and our max will be 11. Let's go ahead and find the median by doing some crossing out. Boom, 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 boom. So we've crossed out 4 on each side. We're left with 5 in the middle. So we have the same median. And now we're going to take the average of each side of the data. Now, because this 5 itself is the median, we're not going to include that in figuring out our Q1 and Q3. We cross it out, we're left with 2 in the middle, which means, say, 5 plus 7 divided by 2, which gives us 13 divided by 2, which is 6.5, will be our Q3. And over here, cross out, we're left with 2 numbers in the middle. So we say 2 plus 4 divided by 2, which is 6 divided by 2, which gives us 3 as our Q1. So our 5-number summary with a 0 is here, and our 5-number summary, once we remove the 0, is down there. Pause the video if you need to go over how I did this. We're going to move on to the next question. Problem number 6. What effects does eliminating the highest value, 180, from the data have on the mean and the median? Well, looking at it, 180 is double 90, and so it's quite a high value that is going to skew our mean to the right, which means we immediately know if we take away the 180, the mean gets smaller. Now, what about the median? Because the median is going to be somewhere here no matter what. So let's calculate what our median would look like with that 180. So we have these 2 numbers in the middle, which ends up being somewhere in between, which will be 77.5. Will be our median in this case. And if we cross out that 180, we're going to cross. Our median turns into 70. So our median goes down as well, but not nearly as dramatic as what our mean will do. And I know that you already know how to find the mean. So if you want to calculate both means to see what happens, I recommend you pause this video now and go ahead and do that. All right, next question. Problem number 7. The histogram represents the distribution of the number of seconds it took for each 50 students to find the answer to a trivia question using the internet. Which interval contains the median? So we have this distribution here, and we want to know where is the median. So let's think of how many values are in each one. Let's switch the color here. We have 22 values, or 22 data points represented here. We have 5 data points represented there. We have 8 here, 9 here, 6, nope, it's 5 here, and we have 1 over there. So we have a total of 50 students, which means the middle value will be about at the 25th student. So we have 22 students over here, and we have 27 that includes over here, which means the 25th student, and I said about the 25th student because it's going to be somewhere in between the 24th and the 26th student because we have an even number of values. So you're going to take the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th student, add them up and divide by 2. But in this case, both the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th student is in the values between 5 and 10, which tell us the median is between 5 and 10. Let's go ahead and let's circle that answer. It's between 5 and 10 answers, and that's the answer to our questions. As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of them. I will see you next time.